We just got home from our trip to Wildwood, New Jersey. You've probably seen some of the videos so far, and I thought it'd be fun to take some time to show you the photos from our trip. So this would be sort of like a little narrative where I go through all the photos and I'll say a little bit about each one as it goes by. I hope you enjoy. This is the place we stayed. It's called the Daytona Motor Inn, and it's about a block away from the beach. I booked our trip about 2 weeks before we left, so there wasn't a whole lot to choose from, but this was one of the places that got pretty good reviews on Travelocity, and almost every single person said about how clean it was, and that's a big deal for me. So when we got there, they put us up in room 207, and if you're wondering what $189 a night gets you in Wildwood, take a look at our view. This is from the front window, and this is from the back. We didn't really let that get us down because we're not there for the view from the room, we're there for the beach. The bad news is the night we got there was about 6 o'clock and it started dumping rain, so we were pretty much confined to our room that night. Speaking of rooms, I forgot to get a photo that night, but this is a picture from the following morning. As you can see, we have the two beds set up. Cody and Clark slept on the one on the right. I slept on the one on the left, the one that Clark's eating snacks in right now, probably getting crumbs all over the place. But that was a nice setup for us, and it worked out really well. I really enjoyed having the whole bed to myself. And here's the opposite angle of our room. Nothing too crazy. You got the little mini fridge, the microwave, small TV, and off to the corner on the left is the bathroom. Oh yeah, now back to the first night, also known as the rainy night. Here's a picture of Clark watching Disney Junior on Cody's iPad. Fortunately, they had Comcast Wi-Fi somewhere there, and we were able to hook up to that, so he was able to keep busy that night doing that. And I kept myself busy putting together this awesome stroller that we had to buy at Walmart because I forgot our stroller. Thank God for Walmart. This is $25, and it saved us throughout the trip, as you'll see in these coming photos. And as you may have guessed, Clark had a blast pushing the stroller around the room. After that first rainy night, we woke up the next morning to this beautiful day, and we decided that we were going to go down to the beach right away. So we got Clark all packed up, and we walked down. Here's some photos from the boardwalk, and you kind of have to walk down through the sand and past the roller coaster, and then you end up out on the beach. And this is where we shot that video of Clark first going into the water. That was a really fun time. We had a really cool setup out there on the beach. Cody ended up buying this beach tent on Amazon, and this is her sitting inside of it right there. And it was really awesome. It just pops right open, and you can put all your stuff inside. It's a great place for kids, and hopefully for Clark to take a nap, which he did one of the days, just not this day that you see here. The next few photos I really love. These are pictures of me and Clark out building a sandcastle, which I was building for him, and then he promptly destroyed right after, which is typically how things go. So after being out at the beach most of the day, Clark started getting pretty fussy and he wouldn't take a nap inside the tent. So we decided that we'd go back to the motel, and when we walked up, the pool was completely empty. They have a really nice pool there, so we decided to play around with Clark in there a little bit, wear him down before he takes a nap. And the really neat thing about their pool is they have this little cordoned off kiddie area, which is only a foot deep, and Clark had fun in there. I played with him inside the deep end of the pool. It was just a really good fun time. And then we took him back to the room and he crashed out hard. After Clark woke up, it was time for dinner, and we just randomly started walking and came across this place. It's called Pasta Pesto, and it was a really good place. This is where Clark did the little lemon video. Cody ended up having, I think it was lobster spaghetti for dinner, or lobster pasta, something like that. And I had this epic stromboli, which Clark helped me eat for sure. After dinner, we went for a walk on the boardwalk, and it was just the perfect night. The weather was perfect, the sun was setting, it was so beautiful, and we finished it out with some ice cream, which this little guy helped me eat again. Soon after, it got dark and we went back to the hotel room and went to sleep for the night. The next day we woke up to another beautiful morning. This is the alternate view. If you look out to the left, this is what you see, and you can see the Ferris wheel over there. And what did we decide to do but go to the beach? Here's a photo I took of Cody and Clark on the beach. I absolutely love this photo. It turned out so well. I love it. And speaking of loving it, here is my beautiful wife on the beach. You have to admit, she just looks so pretty. I'm so thankful and so lucky. Second day with the tent, there was a big breeze coming through, so I ended up using the sandbags that are attached to the tent to keep the thing weighed down, and that worked out really well. But even with the breeze, it was another nice day. One thing you find when you take a year-and-a-half-old to the beach, you spend a lot of time chasing them around. Cody and I had hopes that maybe he would just sit and play with his sand toys. Not a chance. He was running everywhere. This is him playing with his bucket and running all over with that. He had a good time meeting the other kids there, and everybody was just so nice. A lot of fun, but very stressful chasing him around and always keeping an eye on him. So not necessarily the vacation that you're looking for, but still a fun one nonetheless. It was really nice when Clark decided that he was going to take a nap inside the tent, and he slept for a little while. The bad news is he ended up getting really hot inside there, so ended up leaving shortly after he woke up. So to cool down, we went back and we had some fun in the pool. Again, we're the only ones there. This picture is really fun. Cody took this of me holding Clark up, and he got a big smile on his face. And then the next one here is me showing Clark how to swim at a year-and-a-half old. Maybe he'll pick it up. Shortly after, it was time for dinner, so we ended up walking to this place that was a few blocks away called the Pacific Grill. And this was a really fancy place, and we happened to have the only little kid that was in there. Got a little bit of look from the owners and the people there, but you know, we got a kid, what can you do? And I think these pictures pretty much sum it up. Kind of what went down there. The food at the Pacific Grill was excellent. Cody and I were both happy. I got a couple photos of the things that I ended up ordering. They kind of had a deal where you could do an appetizer, an entree, and then a dessert. I forgot to get a picture of the dessert, but I ended up getting like this chocolate mousse that had this whipped cream on top, and it was just delicious. Very pleased, but also kind of expensive. After dinner, we ended up going for a walk on the boardwalk again, just like the night before, which was a lot of fun. I got this photo of the most beautiful woman on the boardwalk. This is it right here. And after we were done walking, we ended up going back, and there was really nothing else to do other than go swimming. So here's a couple photos of me playing around with Clark Man in the little kiddie pool. That was a lot of fun. And if you want to talk embarrassing photos, here is one for the books. This is my weird sunburn that I got. I ended up going to the beach that morning, and I ended up spraying my sunblock onto my back, but the wind was blowing, so I had no idea what I was getting. So I just kind of did the best I could, and I guess I kind of missed a couple spots. So here's definitely the thumbs down on the weird sunburn. So after the pool, we ended up going back to our room and going to sleep for the night. The next morning we got up, which is this photo right here. You see Clark Man in the background. We still had another day left on our trip, but we decided that we were going to come home early. We both kind of felt like we had seen and done everything there was to do there. As you noticed, the past couple days were more or less the same, and we figured it would just be more of the same. And the beach, you know, chasing Clark around, it's not relaxing like you would hope for a vacation. So we just thought, you know, maybe it's time to come home. And I was really worried about my chickens because I was leaving their door open at night while they were here because we don't have anybody that lives really close by to open and close them every morning and night. So I felt like we just kind of needed to get back home, and Cody felt the same way. So we decided that we were going to pack up and head out. So this is our last morning there, and this is basically the end of our trip. So I hope you enjoyed this little narrative of our vacation to Wildwood. We had a great time for the few days we were there. Missed out on that rainy night. We could have stayed another day, but I think overall it was just a really fun time, and I'm really happy to experience it. And through these photos, I was able to share it with you. So let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video.